Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominion 6. I am the False God, and we are playing as Pyrene. Jumping in on turn 38. Let's see. Oh, okay, I did. It looks like I did go back from the prior turn, and I started doing our transformations. Probably just wasn't thinking about it when I saved the turn. So we got a lion, another lion, miss on that. Sometimes these get paths, so we're going to check on those. Miss on sights, got some blood slaves. Another assassination attempt. Let's hope there's no tables. There is a table. On the bright side, we did go ahead and give us some bodyguards. The bodyguard tag on these guys is really useful. We've already seen that we lost one acrobelt, so normally they're safe enough. But if you're going to have the Sergina hunt, those are, I think, going to be a necessity. And a handful of water gems. We've breached the Forest of Gun as well. So we've got more transformation coming out, it looks like. Where do we cast all those transformations? Here's some. No bonus paths here, except this guy. So we picked up an air path, which is pretty convenient. This gives us air, earth, air, nature, which we didn't have access to before, although at an exceptionally low level. So probably not something that's going to end up impacting us too much, but it's cool to have it. And those guys are going to go ahead now and move to help out over here, doing some more transformation. You can see our income has gotten much better, or our upkeep has gotten much better. So that's pretty convenient. We go ahead and do some more blood hunting here. And here, like I said, we're just going to storm this with blessing. And yeah, we're not expecting there to be anything here. Because I think we killed everything that Jotun had in Jotun. So I'm expecting to see a dead Jotun next turn. Storming, transformation, probing. Call the Wild, transformation, so 2 transformations. As we try and get our economy up, we're in peacetime mode. At some point here, I don't have any good scouts. I feel like at some point Bandar started to have a bit of a revenge tour, but I don't know what turn that happens on. And I don't know if we'll see it. I have like lucid levels of scouting. I have no scouting. I was just chatting with people, which makes it tricky when you're A, recording stuff several months later, and B, I have nothing to show anyone. But at some point, Bandar is going to start to mount a bit of a comeback. So we'll hope we can watch for that. But for now, yeah, not a ton happening in this turn. We'll go ahead and jump to our next turn, which is what's 38? Yeah, jump to 40. Or 39. Yeah, so, go in order here. More transformations. We finally hit finding a starlight pond and a singing tree. So now we now have our whole glamour site searching has been 1 glamour 1. We have more glamour income than everything else except Earth, and it's tied with nature. And we're getting some of that from our capital. So this bard is doing a lot of good work. We got so this one is pretty nice. A winged monkey transformation. So he's only 4 gold a year, obviously quite a bit less than our acrobelts was, but this added an astral path. So now we have another blood astral that isn't our god, which is pretty nice because, as I had forgotten when I picked the god, though I don't think it would have stopped me anyway, our god does have an Ep Smith. Make it a little bit harder for him to forge stuff. And so having a non-god turn way to do arcane probing and to forge, it's not crystal gear anymore, it's sky metal gear, and just do a bunch of stuff. This guy's gonna be really helpful. Really lucky to have him. I think this guy may have picked up an air path as well. Yeah, picked up an air path on this griffin. That's neat. We've got a big battle. Well, not a big battle. A lot of Asphodel stuff. Let's just see what Asphodel's up to. They have so much stuff. Some nature gems, maybe a howl. Obviously, we won't see it, so there's not much here, but. Foot mastery. Cast by the Carrion Lord. Oh my. Oh right, we're gonna storm the Fortress of God. It's like I said, we're just in. We don't expect there to be anything here, and there isn't. So it's just us versus the fort. And we are gonna take a lot of damage from these stupid flipping rocks. But we're gonna go ahead and kill them off. Just takes a minute. So that was an easy one. We did lose another bunch of sacreds and some swordsmen. Probably could have put more, you know, we could have done some mage support, could have put up storm, could have put up mist, something to, or maybe not mist, but you know, something to help block those rocks. But I kind of just wanted to have our guys keep researching and not waste all the turns doing that to save a handful of lives. Here's a real battle. Man is storming an Asphodel fort. Now, there's not a ton of stuff here. Yeah, we've got one Dryad Hag. Oh, and it's a gray one. But only one. So, I'm not sure what she's up to. Spell Ward. Howl. Okay, there's some stuff here. I feel like he wanted to have more stuff, though, with his god here, but oh. Now, the best thing that could happen to Asphodel is if these guys get stuck right on the border of fighting, and so they get to swing without getting swung at. That would be ideal. Because otherwise, right, Man and his colossal army of longbows, and the Knights of Avalon more particularly, are just going to crush it. I guess with so many longbows, them getting stuck doesn't really work. They're just going to take too much fire. Howl is doing something. I mean, there's a handful of wolves here. It is, you know, it's drawing away arrows, but there's just so many. And I don't think he's got enough stuff here to really guard the gate. You know, the number of Minotaurs is decreasing much more quickly than the number of knights. These guys are just disgustingly powerful, by the way. Just an amazing unit. All resist, HP, strength, chain of blood, blood surge. 5 experience stars. They are a gross unit. We've got the lance, broadsword, then the unicorn has a magic attack and a hoof. Yeah. A gross unit. And they're gonna go ahead and break through. And these units are going to die. I don't know where the rest of the gods were. Not exactly sure. I don't feel like this thing you would choose to do. I didn't think I did Spell Ward. And maybe there's a spell that's really important against that we haven't seen in this fight. But in this fight, that didn't really do anything. I don't know what. If anything, no. I mean, I guess it helps verse, you know, smites. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, Man's gonna go ahead and take the fort in Lex. I don't know. He lost 6 monks. I'm gonna actually guess that those are probably like a lot of those are probably friendly fire. And only 2 Knights of Avalon and 36 longbows. Again, probably mostly friendly fire to the wolves being disruption. The gray one doesn't die on here, but she obviously dies because she's got nowhere to go, and he loses all this stuff. So that was definitely a big win for Man. Assassination attempt on us. And we do have some bodyguards, and this time we've got an assassin. Luckily, the peasants are on our side. And the assassin's going to have a hard time getting through our troops. Luckily, we're busy casting Enlarge, Barkskin, Personal Iron Skin. You know, very concerned with his own safety, not interested in helping his troops at all. We lost 3,000 people in Snowford. That's nice. And Jotunheim is permanently vanquished. Let's go ahead and pour one out for Snuggles. He put up a good fight into a 2v1 that included an elfing. So it was a noble effort. We're gonna go ahead and keep moving out some more dudes, trying to keep our blooding up. Like I said, I'm hunting this too long. We need to move on. Allies, we're sneaking around. We got blood hunting. I was trying to preach to limit the number of assassination attempts. Although, with what we actually have blood hunting, I don't think that's super important. I mean, this guy's got a couple attacks. Like, he should do okay against commoners. This one's a little bit worse off. This one's fine. 74 HP. But, yes, we need to get our blood back together. Researching, probing, dowsing rods, call the winds, allies. So like now could have been a good time to go and get conjuration for eagles. We still have time. Instead, we're gonna go enchantment 6, not just death. So there's lots of good enchantment-y stuff to pick up along the way. I think we're specifically heading to 6 to get what? Why was I going? I mean, okay, so a lot of great spells are at 6. Relief is great for us. We can do Heat from Hell with a big Sabbath. So we're like Relief, Heat from Hell. We are in Heat Scales. Could be really nice. We could consider a Hidden Snow if we really wanted to, actually. I think, in Highlands and Mountains, unfortunately, our enchantment discount site is not a Highland or Mountain. So that is no bueno. But it's something we could do to get a little bit more diversity. I don't think we're really in a position to cast Eternal Pyre. It gets us some domes. Domes are nice. We can do Rigor. No, we can't do Rigor. The Devil cannot do Rigor. He's one short because it's a 3-gem spell. So, anyway, that's what we have put in. I don't think, in retrospect, this was the right move. Like, it's got a lot of great stuff, but at 7, right, we get Gift of Health, Mass Regen, Serpent's Blessing. We've got a lot of Earth Gems, so we could try to get Earthblood Deepwell, although there's obviously gonna be fighting with like a Gartha for that. It's gonna be a little tricky. Steel Slice Warriors, big spell. So maybe I just didn't put in the command for 7, but 7 is really where we're at for enchantment. We also could have actually gotten some Thaumaturgy at some point here to do Auspex, but we didn't. No more 2. So instead, we're headed up to Blood 7 as it currently stands. That's going to give us Father Illerth. I think this is when I still like this whole. I just mind blank somehow the entire game. Father Illerth cannot cast Earthblood Deepwell because he doesn't have any feet. So I think I was operating under the mistaken notion that I could get him to cast Earthblood Deepwell for me, and that's just not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. But besides that, we do also get an access to. I mean, he's still a good. It's still good to have him. He can do lots of other cool stuff. He's an Earth. He can go up to Earth 5, and higher in a fight. So it's still good to have him, but he does not cast Earthblood Deepwell without access to additional magic items. Archdevil's good too. Locusts are a really good spell we don't need yet, but we could add them to sort of our raiding arsenal. Purified Blood, also quite nice. A lot of the, like, Serpent's Ward now is just +5, I believe. Or Serpent's Blessing. And so having access to, you know, Blood getting access to that +10 is really huge. So that's a really great one to have. And then we're also, you know, then we're close to more Blood stuff. So that's neat. So we're kind of headed up for there. Or anything else happening? No, we already looked at this. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn. We'll go to 40. We'll call 40 the last one probably. 40. Oh, we traded Ulm for a bunch of Lightless Lanterns. I do not remember the exact price we paid. I guess we can go and check. There's an excellent chance that I didn't save it because I probably already finished the turn and then figured the trade out afterwards. No, yeah, didn't put it in. So I don't remember precisely what we traded him, and I'm not going to try and figure it out. But the point is, we bought a bunch of Lightless Lanterns for him, which is hugely profitable for him. But I still wanted them. And even, you know, I haven't really talked to Construction 7 yet for us. Because like a Lightless Lantern play, we have no fire gems. There's no way to turn them into Lightless Lanterns at present. Miss on probing. We did find a Lake of Living Water. Oops. Well, I don't remember what he was doing, but that's one water gem. Some more Blood Slaves. +10 air gems. Heat is high. That's bad for us. That's too hot. We lost a scout, and we did some patrolling. This force is marching to take this. In the near future is the plan there, and then once we take this, we'll look to take this. You can see with Jotunheim now gone, we have built a temple, and we're doing Blood Sack. We do need to build a temple here still, but we're starting to get our Dominion in. Yeah, putting the Blood Sack in the temple here too. Because we've got, right, with 3 thrones, we're getting a lot of Dom pressure from Ulm, and potentially a lot of Dom pressure from Van as well. We're kind of, you know, like this territory is kind of little like peninsular for us. But like, yeah, we're kind of long. We're relatively like chunky here and get a little thin. So a good reason, like we could fight Ulm, right? And that would kind of make us much more, you know, of a blob shape. Could fight into Van and we'd be a bit more oblong, but that's okay. Everything is on the table. We are going to go ahead and go for an Archdevil. They've got access to Astral as well, High Astral, which we don't otherwise have much of an option to get. Probing, Archdevil. So I will say, you know, I felt relative. So we had a nap with everybody here, right? Except Man, who is in the middle of fighting Asphodel. And I think we're still, yeah, you can see Fascia is under siege from I believe that Van did like a small little land grab from Man, which really pissed Kidson off. I don't remember. I think that's happened already. I think this was part of it. But then they basically made peace afterwards, or at least Zan made peace, and Kidson couldn't really stop him. But it was kind of a small war. Nabaa also goes to war with Bandarlog, but again, it's kind of a small war, and it doesn't really make me feel like their attention was sufficiently distracted that I could go and do something else. I could have fought a small war on Man and tried to take like some of this stuff, and maybe I could have gotten away with it, but it is much closer to his capital, and you know, he can project a lot more power to fight me at Green Coast than he can to fight Vanarus at what is it, Ale, whatever. So I didn't want to do that. I just went ahead and kept scaling a bit. to return to my original point, we could have made a lot more demons, and instead we've been pumping blood into like nice to have commanders to try and roll for arcane and such. You know, roll for arcane, roll for death. And this is something which, again, like I'm doing because I think we're in a very safe position. It is obviously a bit risky. We could be doing more 5 gates to get at more demons. I don't remember where. I think we can see them here. Yeah, we've done like 4 casts, so that's not very many. We could be doing a lot more, but I do, you know, I kind of want to do just-in-time demons as much as possible, and put the blood into stuff that's gonna help us more while we are at peace. So that's sort of the thought process there. It is riskier certainly than, you know, going ahead and making all the demons first and then looking for the nice to haves afterwards. And I don't think we should have a ton of competition on the nice to haves either, so it wasn't like a huge risk. You know, we expect Vanarus has some blood, and we expect Nabah to eventually work his way in, but I don't think that they're going to be rushing to do, you know, Ice Devils and Archdevils. Nabah, I mean, I don't even think you ever cast those right as Nabah when you're like, yeah, I could get a Shaitan. Like, why would I get anything else? They're Shaitan. Eventually they probably want, you know, they could do like Storm Demons maybe, but Shaitan are a disgusting unit that would be great not to fight against. Would be really great not to fight against. But yeah, so we're gonna keep on scaling, and you know, we'll look to see where we go with it. I think trying to find the balance between scaling here and staying the right size such that we don't get coalitioned is tricky. And I'm not sure that, you know, I don't know if we're going to navigate it perfectly. But I guess my thought is eventually we're hoping that these two take larger wars that aren't into us, which definitely seems possible, by the way, right? Abyssia and Agartha have been fighting Bandar for a long time. And so they might get attacked by these two. And then if that happens, we can go and take Ulm. I suppose I could have tried to like more explicitly negotiate that deal with them, as opposed to just kind of thinking of it as something that's happening or could happen eventually. But that's kind of what we're currently watching out for. We also, of course, you know, we need to keep our information sources in check. Most of our information is coming from Nabah, who obviously has an incentive to lie to us about what's going on. Or at least not always fully divulge what's happening. But anyway, I think we'll go ahead and call it here. That was turn 40. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Have a great day.